Good morning, and welcome to Night Vision Sports. I'm Addie Wells.
And I'm Allie Parkhurst. Thanks for joining us.
Happy homecoming to all our viewers. We hope you're enjoying the celebrations and have a fantastic weekend ahead.
It was a dominant showing in Decorah as number 8 and 9 Wartburg extended its conference win streak and continued its hold over longtime rival Luther College. This matchup carried extra significance as one of the final meetings between the two programs before Luther departs the American Rivers Conference next season. Night Vision Sports reporter Karma Goodson has more.
Today I'm here at Carlson Stadium, the last time Wartburg and Luther will face off as American River Conference rivals, since the Norths are sent to depart the ARC after the 2025 school year to join the Midwest Conference.
The number 8 and number 9 ranked Knights took the field against Luther College on their home turf. The long-standing rivalry between the two colleges has been around since the 1940s and is coming to an end in the ARC. We spoke with head Wartburg football coach Chris Winter and asked what his goal was for this final matchup.
The number one goal is to go over there and try to play to our standard. That's our goal every week, is to try to make sure that we're getting better and improving each week we play. There were some opportunities for us to maybe put up a few more points. We stalled out a few times down in the red zone and would have liked to have maybe had that score look a little bit of a wider gap or wider margin, but at the same time, I think we ended up taking care of the goal of going and knocking off the next game and taking care of Luther in that final conference matchup, and to be able to kind of stick it to them a little bit on their homecoming.
Looking back at the history of Luther's homecoming, we spoke with Jay Bading about a prank him and about 15 other members of the Wartburg campus radio station, KWAR, pulled during Luther's homecoming parade in 1998.
We had just promoted on air all week. We said, tune in, 10 a.m., Saturday morning, everybody loves a parade. And so I think some students had kind of gotten tipped off, and so they were along the parade route in Decorah. And then when we took off all the Luther stuff to put the Wartburg signs out, then about 40 students just followed us through town in their Wartburg gear, chanting the fight song and stuff in Luther's homecoming parade.
With Bading being the mastermind behind the prank, we asked what his thoughts were on Luther leaving the ARC.
Well, they obviously must have looked at whether it's student numbers, whether it was success on the field, and decided they needed to make a change. Back in the 90s, it was pretty competitive, but Wartburg was winning most of the time in football and doing real well. But the rivalry was definitely different then than it is now. It's the end of an era. It really is interesting. I mean, Luther Week was a huge deal as a student, and so it's definitely going to be different, not playing them as often in sports.
In the final chapter of this long-standing rivalry, Wartburg defeated Luther 36-3. Reporting for Night Vision Sports, I'm Karma Goodson.
The Knights now turn their attention to homecoming weekend as they host the University of Dubuque Spartans on Saturday, October 11th at 1:30 p.m. in Walston Hoover Stadium. Special thanks to Jace Holtz and Karma Goodson for their contributions to this story.
The Wartburg women's soccer team is building momentum as they enter a busy stretch of American Rivers Conference play. The Knights picked up a hard-fought 1-0 road win over Wisconsin Eau Claire, with third-year star Sammy Webster scoring in the 60th minute, her fourth straight match with a goal. Wartburg outshot the Blue Golds 16-10 and held a slight edge in saves 6-9, showing both offensive pressure and defensive resilience. We met Webster, who says this team's confidence is growing both on and off the field.
We've grown in our confidence in that system, and so on the field, we know who's going to play the system, who's not going to play the system, and everyone's held accountable, and now we know, and it's pretty easy to watch when we're all doing it or when we're not doing it, because you can tell that we're frustrated if we aren't. So I think we're at the perfect place right now going into conference, just playing our system, playing together, and supporting each other. So.
After a tough 2-0 loss to Dubuque in their Pink Night matchup last night, the Wartburg women's soccer team is ready to refocus and continue their conference push. They will travel to face Central College on Saturday, October 11th at 3:30 p.m. at Central Soccer Field in Pella, Iowa, and then head to Lincoln, Nebraska to take on Nebraska Wesleyan on Tuesday, October 14th at 6 p.m.
The Wartburg men's soccer team has entered a busy season with a crucial stretch of American Rivers Conference play, with 3 matches scheduled this week. The Knights recently dominated the University of Dubuque on the road, securing a 5-2 victory with Wings Kabula and Flory Gembo leading the way with multiple goals. Wartburg displayed strong offensive firepower, outshooting Dubuque and capitalizing on key scoring opportunities, while also showing defensive resilience by limiting high-quality chances. We spoke with fourth-year Aiden Mott about how his leadership has affected the team. He shared his insights on building the team confidence both on and off the field.
I think a lot of us that are older on the team try to just lead by example and do our best, put 100% effort every day, and hopefully the younger guys will see that and try to replicate it.
After a victory over Dubuque last night, the Knights improved to 4-5-1 overall and 2-0 in conference play. They will continue their conference campaign with a road match against Central College on Saturday, October 11th at 1 p.m. at Central Soccer Field, followed by another road contest against Nebraska Wesleyan on Tuesday, October 14th at 3:30 p.m. at Abell Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska.
We spoke with second-year standout player Anna Sash and the Wartburg volleyball team about their performance and growing momentum as they push for a conference tournament championship. The Knights enter the week with an overall record of 12-6 and a conference record of 3-1. Night Vision sports reporter Landon Jepson has more.
We are back for another edition of a Wartburg Sports in-studio interview with second-year standout middle hitter Anna Sash. Anna, how are you today?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, sports is booming. It's homecoming week. There's nothing better. So going into the season, you guys have been performing on all cylinders, performing so well. You lead the nation in total blocks with 76. You leading the role in the middle hitter stage for the team. How has that really impacted your season individually?
Yeah, it's been really nice. I mean, I think a lot of the credit also goes to my team. When we're able to serve aggressive, get them out of the system, it makes my job a lot easier, but really focusing on what I can do to help my team and get the wins each time.
You know, you've been really looking up to Allison Feigenbaum, middle hitter who just graduated. You kind of stepping into a role now as the lead middle hitter for the Knights. How has her leadership and embodiment for you been making you such a force on the court?
Yeah, Allison's been great. I really learned a lot from her last year, and now with her on the coaching staff this year, it's been so nice to be able to ask her anything like, am I doing this? She's really helping me out and has so much advice and experience that really helps me on experience just physically and mentally and making sure I'm able to help my team the best way possible.
That's amazing. And, you know, going into this year, Coach Aiken stepping into her first year at former rival Co-College and the Co-Hawks, you know, they were very impressive. And her taking her coaching talents to here, how was her leadership and mentorship really embodied you to become a better player as well as the full team?
Yeah, she's really just a great coach and she has so much knowledge of the game. She's really helped us speed up our offense, which has been really great, and just adding little bits of information that really helps us all work as a team and cohesive. And she's really big on like the mental side of things and making sure we're all ready as a team and ready to go. So I love having her here and she's such a great coach.
Well, that's awesome. Anna, thank you for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it. If you aren't busy tonight, go on to Storm Lake, see the Knights play here coming up on the season. Coming up after the break, Wartburg women's tennis extends their winning streak over Buena Vista and picks up their 6th conference win of the season. Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back.
At Wartburg College, your journey will take you beyond the classroom to unlock your potential, discover who you are, and build skills that open doors to an exciting future. You'll experience more at Wartburg, like broadening your horizons through study abroad, gaining hands-on knowledge with your internships, and building a network that supports you long after you graduate. And our dedicated professors are here to guide and engage you every step of the way. Visit campus to see how you can experience more at Wartburg College.
For most of my career, I saw leadership as management. I equated the two together, like, oh, you had to be a manager of people or a director of people. And it took me a long time to realize that those are not one and the same.
The most impactful piece of the program was the cohort format, and it being online really helped. Working full-time and going to school is a lot of work, but it also felt like a community that we built together.
Learn more about Wartburg's Master of Arts in Leadership. Visit wartburg.edu.
The Wartburg women's tennis team continued their strong play in American Rivers Conference action with a 6-1 win over Buena Vista University. The Knights swept the doubles competition and picked up key singles victories from several players, showing both their offensive firepower and defensive consistency. We met with head coach Chris Gustus to discuss the impact of the team this season and the importance of the upcoming American Rivers Conference tournament.
I think reflecting on the ARC schedule overall, the women stepped up and did very well in all of the meets that are, you go into not knowing the result. I think we were 5-2 in all of those meets. Wesleyan and Dubuque and Loras and Central. We put up good scores against those teams, and those were days we came in knowing we got to play well to win, and the women stepped up. Closing off with Central, who was predicted to be right there with us, having that win, and even really almost winning 6-1 in that one. I was really impressed by their performance in all meets where we had to step up.
The Knights will compete in the American Rivers Conference Tournament Friday, October 10th through Saturday, October 11th in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, with matches starting at 10 a.m., looking to build on their strong season and make a run for conference success.
The Wartburg cross-country teams continued to show their strength at the Dan Hudson Invitational in Waverly. The men's team, ranked second nationally, took first place out of 16 teams with 7 top 10 finishers, led by Isaiah Hammerand in second place. The women's team, ranked 25th nationally, finished fourth overall with 4 top 25 finishers, led by Lily Peterson in 17th. We met with fifth-year runner Jack Kinzer to discuss the team's performance and preparation for upcoming races.
I think it just goes to show that, if you come to Wartburg, you'll have guys to train with, you'll have, people that'll push you all the time, and it's something where, if we have one guy go down, we'll always have somebody that steps up. We have that shark tooth mentality is what we call it. So if somebody goes down, somebody will be right there, stepping up, filling in your role. And that's what propels us to a lot of our wins.
With strong showings at the Dan Hudson Invitational, the Knights look to build on their success as they prepare for Interregional Rumble at Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois, on Saturday, October 18th, starting at 11 a.m.
The Wartburg women's cross-country team has shown consistent strength this season, competing at high-level national meets. The number 20 Knights finished 9th out of 45 teams at the Paul Short Invitational at Lehigh University on Friday, October 3rd, with 6 runners setting new personal records, including Maddie Merna in 42nd place. Days later, at the Dan Hudson Invitational in Waverly, the team finished 4th overall, led by Lily Peterson in 17th place. We spoke with second-year runner Lydia Moss about the performance and the challenges of national and conference competition.
But as a program, we just really need to work together and to take some confidence from each other and just race really aggressively, and to remember that we belong in the front and that's where we're always going to be. So definitely just racing confidently for me and for the team.
The Knights will compete next at the Interregional Rumble on Saturday, October 18th in Rock Island, Illinois, looking to build on their strong season performance and continue their push in conference and national rankings.
Now let's take a look at the weather in Waverly for the next few days. Going into homecoming weekend, Friday will be sunny with a high of 73 and a low of 41. Saturday, we will see partly cloudy skies with a high of 66 and a low of 49. While Sunday brings a chance of rain with a high of 67 and a low of 54. Monday will be partly cloudy with a high of 74 and a low of 47. And Tuesday will have a slight chance of rain with a high of 68 and a low of 48.
Thank you for watching Night Vision Sports today.
Stay up to date with all our content by following us on Facebook and YouTube at Wartburg DJC.
And remember, go Knights and happy homecoming.
We'll see you next time. Have a great day.